Okay, hey everyone. Welcome to our September team call. Hope you guys had a great holiday weekend. And we just wanted to, while everyone's popping on still, we just wanted to give some shout outs because some amazing things happened in August. And you guys should be so proud of yourselves. I know there's a lot of people that moved mountains to hit their goals in August. So we just wanted to shout some people out real quick.
Right. So if you remember back in, was it June, we did convention. So in June, you might remember Megan and I did a video. We stayed one extra night at convention, and we did a Facebook Live on the team and just was talking about how we want so many people from this team to qualify for Leaders Retreat. Like, I don't know, some of you may remember that call or that live video we did, and I said it'd be great if we had our own wing, like of the boat. We had our own floor. And you guys seriously did an incredible job. So 28 people from one team earned Leaders Retreat, which is awesome. So that is something to really be proud of. I couldn't be any prouder than I am. I just, as the month, especially as August kept going along and the numbers kept going up, I just kept smiling. And I was just so excited because it's a big deal. Yeah. It's a big deal. And a lot of you did a lot of great things. I want to, I was on the phone with Elizabeth Turner earlier tonight, and everybody did a great job, but I want to shout her out because she joined Plexus in the middle of June. And she qualified for Leaders Retreat. So in 2.5 months total in Plexus, she is one of the ones on the waiting list for the Leaders Retreat. But honestly, you guys, everybody did such a good job, and you should be really proud of yourself.
Do you want to tell them about what Leaders Retreat did for you? Because Leaders Retreat was the very first Plexus event we ever went to.
Yeah.
And it was the best event. In my opinion, Leaders Retreat is the best event. And I was so sad when they were like, oh, well, jewels are not going to be part of Leaders Retreat anymore. We're going to make it exclusive for senior rubies and below to reward those people with that, which I totally track with. I get that. So we're actually attending Leaders Retreat as I'm getting to go as a trainer. Justin gets to go as my guest. Carrie's going to be there. It's going to be an awesome time. But Leaders Retreat was a game changer for him. You want to say why?
It just built belief in me. After the first Leaders Retreat I went to, I walked away saying we can do this. After the, second Leaders Retreat, I walked away saying, we have to do this. The opportunity is too big not to go for it. And so Leaders Retreat has always been my favorite event. It's been different in years past. This year is a lot different, so I don't know what that's going to do to the feel of the event, but the ones I went to the last few years, I liked them honestly better than the Emerald Extravaganza.
Better than Maui?
Yeah.
So he came as my guest the first year as a very skeptical spouse. I think he was gold at the time, and I was senior gold. But it very much built belief in us, and we had a snapshot view of Plexus as a company because of that, meaning they roll out the red carpet, you get to meet the executives, all the people are just super helpful and sweet, and we would go up to people that were like jewels in the company and we're just like, hey, what's your top tip? Do you have a top tip for us?
Yep.
And their number one top tip, the thing we kind of heard just over and over was just don't quit. You'll be successful if you don't quit. And so I can say that now, saying don't quit and be committed to consistency. That's so key. So, okay, Leaders Retreat, congratulations, guys. So proud of everyone. I did want to shout out the Momentum Makers from August. So Momentum Makers was something we did in July, but it was such a success we did it in August too, because the idea behind this is not just recruitment, but it's also duplication. So you're not just sharing and adding, but you're actually starting to multiply, which is going to broaden your influence. You're going to be able to help more people, all of those things. And so the Momentum Makers added 3 level 1 ambassadors, and they had someone, a level 1 ambassador go silver as well. So that was Kayla Sabella, Tammy Conacher, Stephanie Shekel, and Andrea Denner. Great job, guys. And they got $100 from One Team Leaders for doing that. So congratulations there, guys. Okay, I just wanted to say really quick, if you have not checked out the calendar for the team page, I've been trying to like post things consistently in the threads and also on the team page just to kind of introduce everyone to what September is about. But there's a team calendar, and we have strategically front-loaded the month. If you haven't noticed, we kind of got out of the holiday weekend, and it's bam, 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 back to our work and our IPA and the joy of being able to share Plexus with other people. But we do have an event on Thursday evening. It's just a 30-minute short event that you can invite any potentials to. If you are a new ambassador and you have new people on your team, go ahead and add them, and then just go ahead and send them the link and say, hey, I added you to this group. There's going to be a little 30-minute informational event. Just tune in live. They do not have to order anything to be in that group. It's just information. There'll be some prizes. Carrie and I are leading that, so I'll pop on with a live. We'll post 8 posts that people can read through. We'll have some giveaways, and then Carrie will finish up with a live video. So that will be up for about 2 days, and then we'll delete the information, and we'll start fresh on Monday with our 7-day challenge. But it is the same group, so we don't have to move people from group to group, okay? So one of the things, Carrie and I and Justin, we have done a lot, and I know there's different team leaders on here, are doing a lot to host events for you guys so that it's very streamlined. So really, the legwork is done, and all you guys have to do is chat with people, help them get added to the group, tag them, and remind them, hey, don't forget our online event is coming up, or hey, we have a 7-day challenge, which for the 7-day challenge, I don't know if you guys, most of you probably have been in those, but it's just 7 days of talking about the triplex, live videos, testimonies, information about Joyome now that we have skincare, so there's some education on that and just some little other snippets about different products that we love. So it's a great way to introduce people to Plexus. It's a great thing to put your new ambassadors and new customers into just so they can learn more and gain knowledge, because I think that's really key to overcoming health things as well as starting to share, because the more knowledge you have, the better equipped you're able to help other people. And so definitely buy up the opportunities to invite people. There's a couple different events sprinkled in throughout the month. There's a happy half hour. Melanie Detweiler's team has taken that on. So tune into that. It's just a couple of live videos next Thursday evening. Okay. And then at the very end of the month, after we get back from Maui, there is a What About the Business call that you can invite ambassadors, customers, potentials to, people that you think would be interested in that. So we're going to hop on and do that. There is a family day at the end of the month if you're a local ambassador. That's super fun. It's going to be at Tammy Conacher's house. It'll be a great time. So tune into the info for that. We're going to have an RSVP up pretty soon so we can get a head count for that. But everyone is welcome. Bring your families. It's going to be a fun time.
Is there an event calendar?
Yes, there is an event calendar on the team page. It's pinned. If you go, I can now post announcements. So if you click on the announcements, you'll see the main things that are super important for the month. So check that out. Save it to the notes in your phone and make sure your teams know about that as well. So this week is our IPA challenge. Today was day 1, and I have the schedules, the post pre-scheduled. It's a beautiful thing that we can now do in Facebook groups. So they're all pre-scheduled for like 4 in the morning, because I know we have some Eastern Standard Time people that get up at 5 to do their IPA. So I just wanted to make sure that everyone is in tune for that. And whoops, let me mute here. And there will be prizes for finishers. So we are really wanting to reward those of you who are really staying consistent and committed to the IPA. And all IPA means, if you're not familiar with that term, is income producing activity. And the one thing that I feel like is easy is when we do have events coming up, then our IPA simply looks like invites to that. Okay, so and I put all the wording and examples in the post for day 1, and then tomorrow we'll pop up with day 2. So, okay, I did want to talk about really quick this whole idea of September shift. So this is something we've done on the team. Jessica Heffley started it 3 years ago, and it was basically a month to really focus on shifting our mindset. And so much of how we live our life goes back to our perspectives and our mindset, right? And I know for me personally, I naturally tend towards negativity, complaining, focusing on things that I shouldn't focus on, right? And so my encouragement to myself and to all of us is this month is take whatever you feel like in your life needs to shift. It's not like we're going to overhaul. Okay. Just try to move the needle just a little bit, right? In the direction that you want to go. Maybe it's exercise. Maybe it's eating more healthy foods. Maybe it's cooking more from scratch so that you can eat healthy foods, right? Maybe it's having a daily gratitude journal. Maybe it's being committed to the book, right? The book that you chose for the month. So the September shift is a focus on personal growth. That's a huge aspect, and Jess and I are very much proponents of personal growth and development, just because who we are as people affects what we're sharing with people, right? Our mindset, our perspectives, how we come across the people is heavily affected by our mindset and what's inside of us, right? And so the healthier we can be, the better Plexus ambassadors will be, but also it lifts the lid in every other area of life, helps us be better dads, better moms, better parents, siblings, friends, as we minister to people in our areas of influence, like it lifts the lid in all of those areas. So it's all a good thing. I did want to say really quick as a disclaimer, I put out a lot of different books as options, and some of them come highly recommended from people that I respect in the business and just friends of mine. But I will have to say I have not read every single one of them. Most of them I have read. I'm personally reading this one, The Secrets of Six-Figure Income, which is very insightful and intriguing. I do have this one I'm getting ready to start. It's called In His Image. It's a Bible-based character book about reflecting God's character. I'm excited about a book about child training that I just got in the mail. So I'm reading some different things, but I just wanted to say my approach to books has always been take the meat, throw out the bones. I learned that from my dad. And so I just wanted to communicate that really quick, because I know in some of the books, I don't agree with everything promoted in the books. But I always come to a book knowing that there's some sort of snippet or something I can glean, that I can apply, that I can take, that I can apply to my business, that can give me a tool to put in my toolbox. And so I just wanted to kind of throw that out there with different books that I've either encouraged people to read or kind of put it out there that, hey, I'm reading this book. That doesn't mean that I agree with every single philosophy like promoted in the book. So as with everything, take the meat, throw out the bones. I personally don't believe anything is gospel except the Bible. So just wanted to throw that out there. But I do appreciate feedback and people that have come to me with insightful perspectives. So just wanted to share that really quick. So for the September shift, there is a prerequisite. So if you are really wanting to run with this business, or you want to rank up, or you're wanting to grow, I am hosting a Maui challenge just like I have in years past. We did Rocktober challenge last year. It was amazing. It was good. It was a lot of great information. And also, I know Jessica did that with me. I was a senior gold at the time, and it helped me qualify for Emerald the next spring, because I realized there were certain things that I was not doing on a daily basis, and she helped me implement those simple action steps, and I stayed consistent to those, and that grew my business and lifted my leadership lid in a lot of areas and increased my activity. So that's something I'm hosting in October. I'll have more information coming out about that, but September shift is a requirement to participate in that. Okay, so you need to commit to a book. You need to qualify as a silver ambassador by the end of September, if you're not already. And then the third thing is you need to lead an event of some sort. You can host a power hour for your team. You can do an online sip and see. You could host a little launch at your house. I mean, it can be anything. But just wanted to say we want you to start stepping into those leadership roles. And it can be something as simple as, a little coffee time with a couple ambassadors. That's leading something, right? So, okay, so shifting mindset, also shifting in areas where you need to grow. Okay, so my question to all of us is, where are those areas that we need to grow? For example, I realized I had to grow in the area of something super basic, but getting to the post office. Megan does not get to the post office very well, and my hometown post office has very strange hours. They don't open till like 8:30 in the morning. They close for 2 hours at lunch, and they're closed by 3:45 in the afternoon. So that was an area where I had to grow. I had to lift that leadership lid. And for me personally, I could make excuses about that, or I could dig in and make change. The same thing went for when I first started Plexus. I was not a numbers person, but I realized, okay, well, if I want this stewardship, this opportunity that I have, if I want that to grow, I'm going to have to be willing to look at numbers. just not that people are numbers, but like look in my back office and learn to navigate that thing. So that was a leadership thing that I had to grow in. So I would just challenge all of us, including myself, because I'm learning right along with all of you guys, is where are the areas? Really evaluate and spend some time to reflect on where are the areas where I can grow. Seek to make change. Maybe for you, it's getting organized. For me in my business, it's key that I am organized at some level. I feel like every few months I have to kind of make a shift and like get reorganized again. You know, it's worth it to take that time to do that. It's not IPA, but it will help you be more effective and more efficient. The third thing I wanted to say about shift and this whole idea of September shift is consider shifting customers to ambassadors, and that's going to be a huge focus in September. I think I might have some fun stuff coming out later in the month to encourage people to do that. But I know in the end of August, there's a lot of people gunning for Leaders Retreat, and the way to earn that more efficiently and quickly was to sign a lot of customers. And so that's something to consider this month. If you had people that sign up as customers, but really they should pop over and upgrade to become an ambassador, you can be talking to them about that and just kind of considering that for the month of September, because September can be a prep month for October. Because if you shift a lot of those customers over to become ambassadors, you can become super silver. Remember that incentive is still going. You need 10 people, right? 10 ambassadors. And then if you're planning to go gold in October, you can prep this month so you get your 20 people in line. So in October, you're ready to promote to gold. So I'm going to turn it over to Justin, but I just wanted to say really quick, a couple of themes that I'm just feeling for this month. I feel a lot of significance actually surrounding September and October. I've put a lot of time, effort, and energy into planning and prepping things so that it would be a seamless transition out of August into routine and consistency and the training that I'm wanting to offer people. So commitment to consistency is a theme, as well as back to the basics and back to school. So I'm just encouraging everyone to commit to the IPA, commit to the level of activity that you want for your business so that you can see it grow and so you can hit your goals. Okay, Justin, I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, so just kind of to hit on a couple things that she mentioned about a book. So I think example is very important. So I am finishing up my book here. It's called How Bad Do You Want It? It has nothing to do with network marketing or Plexus at all. It does have to do with mindset though, and how it's about endurance athletes, people who run 100-mile races and just go put their body through extreme pressure and how they overcome it through mental toughness. It's a really interesting book. I like it anyway. But so that's the book I'm reading, and I'm getting ready to finish it up, and I have a stack of about 12 books by my bed, and I don't know which one of those 12 I'm going to read next. But I have it narrowed down to about 3.
Be like me, just have like 5 going at
I
once.
can't do that. I'm too everything, yeah, too 90-degree angle to do that. So that's the book I'm reading. As far as areas of growth, one of the things that for me, and this is something I've realized recently, is that, and I'm getting better and I'm doing things to help myself improve in this area, and it's the area of consistency. I need to be more consistent. And one of my biggest issues, not just with Plexus, but in anything, is a lack of consistency. And it comes from not having a very specific schedule. So I've been working on that personally in light of getting back to, I think before the summer, I was using those IPA worksheets. So every day I had my day mapped out. I had the nice boxes. I could check my things off and everything was going smooth. We hit the summer, not so much into school anymore, a little bit more free time. And I've got out of a schedule. And so for me, that's where I'm at. It's the thing I'm looking at to improve. And, I'm making steps to get back to where I need to be in light of consistency. So
can you share more about the IPA sheet? There might be new people.
So in your back office, in the resource library, there is an IPA worksheet. If you don't know where to begin, that's a perfect place to begin. It's so simple. What I do is I print off 30 at a time for a month. And I use one for each day. And I add stuff to the sheet. I add my exercise routine to the sheet. I add what I need to do with our personal finances or business finances. I help manage a political campaign on the finance side and all my spare time. So I have a box for that each day on my IPA worksheet. And it's basically just a daily checklist for me. And for me, that's what I need to be successful. If I don't have that, then I'll just kind of float around the day and I'll have fun. I just won't get much stuff done. So I need that sheet, and you can find it in your back office. Mm-hmm. That's what I use. It's simple and it's free. You just have to print it off and
mm-hmm. Yeah, feel free in the chat thread to put down what you're reading. I think it'll be fun to see what everyone's reading. Yep. Just as, for example's sake, I think it's good to see that we're all reading something. We're all growing and learning.
Right.
Justin and I were talking this morning, too, about how simple this business is. And, guys, it's as simple. I mean, the secret to success is as simple as printing out the IPA worksheet and just working through that every day and doing it.
Yeah, I think people are surprised. And I don't want to say – we're not saying it's easy either.
No.
Plexus is not easy. However, it is simple, meaning – don't try to recreate the wheel. Don't spend 3 days trying to make something beautiful and you didn't do anything in that 3-day period. Just talk to people and make it simple. A lot of the things we need already created for us. Mm-hmm. And I think it's just the good thing about being simple is duplicatable.
Yep.
You can share simple with other people. Mm-hmm. And I'm not super smart. So simple works great for me. And if I can do it, then any of you guys can do it. And I think people are shocked when they say, so what does your IPA diary look like, Justin? I said, well, I print off the IPA worksheet in the back office. And people are like, really? Like, that's as sophisticated as you get? I said, yeah, that's about as sophisticated as I get right there.
So well, because the focus is really connecting with people, talking to people.
Right.
And he's great at that. Like, I do a lot on social media. He does a lot in person. Like, he'll set up meetings. He'll meet people at the gym. He'll meet people wherever, mm-hmm. Chat with them, connect with them online. But then he'll be like, hey, we should meet up for coffee, and he'll meet them and even show them through the first steps over coffee. It's not necessarily like you send lots of training videos to people. He'll just meet them and kind of help them make their...
I send them to the back office. I send them to the Rank Up roadmap found in the back office, and that's about as simple or as sophisticated as I get. I've been on the doorstep of going Sapphire for the last 3 months, and if you want to know what I look at the Rank Up roadmap. I know it sounds boring and simple, but that's just what I do. I keep it simple. I don't have time to recreate everything. That's already been done for us. We bought the plan for $34.95. Why don't we use it? Mm-hmm. It's right there. It's like a free map. We're on a trip. It says to get from here to there, this is what you do. I prefer the simplicity. So
yeah, if you haven't ever opened your success kit, open that up and read mm-hmm. through it. It's really everything. You wouldn't even need us or the team or the team page or all those resources necessarily. I mean, those are great tools, but mm-hmm. just having that kit, it lays it out for you. If you go do what it says, you can be successful.
I carry a leather bag. It's like a satchel. That sounds more like military-ish satchel, not like a purse, but like a satchel.
Man purse.
Like a satchel. Anyway, in my satchel, my man satchel, I can tell you what I have in there. I have sometimes samples, but I have catalogs, Plexus catalogs, product catalogs that I can hand out to people. I have my Bible. I have whatever book I'm reading, and I usually have at least one resource out of that success guide you get in the mail when they send it to you. And that's what I carry with me. As far as information I'm going to read, I'm just going to read that. And between all those 3 or 4 resources, that's about all I need. I don't need to get much more sophisticated than that. Mm-hmm. But that's my approach. Some people like tons and tons and tons of information. I don't. I get bored with it. Tell me what I need to know and let's do it. I don't really, I trust you. But anyway, that's my approach.
Well,
anyway.
And sometimes it's easy to, I feel like you're a good good implementer. The quicker you can implement, the more successful you can be. So like what he was saying, in light of having to make things perfect or beautiful, like our mantra kind of is learn by doing. Like they teach us in 4-H, just go bake the cake. You're going to learn while you bake it. If it is a flop, then you're going to try it on the next try, right? So learn by doing.
Okay, so let's move forward to some really practical things that we can do in September and October. So September and October usually are kind of slow months. It doesn't mean they have to be. Some people have done some incredible things in September and October, but there's a lot going on. We're usually done with a leaders retreat contest. People are wiped out. They're tired. They've gone through their whole friends list and hit every single one of them like 5 times by now. Also we have leaders retreat and we have Emerald Extravaganza September and October. And a lot of the leaders in the company check out for a period of time. And sometimes when leaders check out, other people check out. And I just want to talk about that for a minute too. I understand how it can, after the end of a month, after a big push, it's just like, oh,
really?
We made it. But I'm just to throw it out there. Megan and I don't think she took a break until she was Sapphire. It was foot on the gas all the way to Sapphire, and it's the same way for me to Emerald.
It was fun. It's fun though.
It was fun.
It
was like
yeah.
So I'm just throwing that out there. There was no vacation. There was no break. And we were on vacation. We were networking, and we were signing up people at the hotel. So it was just, we didn't take time off. It was foot hit the gas. Let's do this. So anyway, I just want to throw
relative, right?
I just want to throw that out there. Looking back now, it's like, hey, let's take a break. But for a long time, we never took time off. It was hard. It was difficult, but it was worth it.
But we were also, he had a full-time job. I was homeschooling. Like, it wasn't like time off in the sense of going to the beach.
Right.
We were pedal to the metal when we had time to work Plexus.
Right. So anyway, let's look. Okay, so September, October, a lot of times can be slower months. I think Plexus, with the way that they set up the leaders retreat, I thought it was perfect for a great September and October this year. Mm-hmm. The way they set it up with where we're signing up a lot more customers than ambassadors. We signed up more customers than we typically do through the leaders retreat, because you got more credits that way, right? It makes perfect sense. Well, I'm going to touch on what Megan talked about, upgrading customers to ambassadors here in a minute. But not only customers, but lots of recruitment happened in the last 3 months. We recruited, as a team, a lot of new ambassadors, hundreds, like probably maybe even 1,000 new ambassadors were signed up, close to that. I'd have to go back and look, but I know that somewhere between 500 and 1,000 new ambassadors joined this team in the 3-month period for the Leaders Retreat contest. Now, points in August didn't really reflect that. Points seemed to drop, which doesn't make sense, does it? It's strange. But the question is why. So I just this is an encouragement. So don't be discouraged if your points, you thought maybe, this is going to be great. We're going to go through the rough. In August, they hit and they dropped a little bit. It's okay. It makes perfect sense because August is an expensive month. I don't know if any of you guys realize that. I'm sure you do. August, people are starting to go back to school. You're paying for school registration fees. You're paying for doctor's bills or sports physicals. You're paying for sports equipment. You're paying for school shoes, school clothes, school pencils, all the things that go along with school. You have kids maybe going to college. You have, you name it. You might have gone on people go on last minute vacations in August. You know, that takes priority financially a lot of times. You spend some time with the kids. I get that. Some people get credit card bills back in the mail in August from their summer vacation. It's like, whoa, okay, we're going to have to turn this Plexus thing off. Man, we ate too much, I guess, on our trip, or whatever the case is. August is an expensive month. So your points in August may not reflect all the recruitment that happened throughout the last 3 months. That's okay. That's okay. The question is, how can we be good stewards of all of the new ambassadors that joined the team in the last 3 months? All the people that joined your team, all the people that you signed up. How can you be a good steward over those new ambassadors? Well, the thing I would encourage you to do in light of all the new ambassadors throughout this Leaders Retreat contest, reach out to them. Mm-hmm. Reach out to them. And it doesn't matter if they're silver already. It doesn't matter if they're a happy wholesaler. It doesn't matter if they've turned their order completely off already. Reach out to every single one of them and encourage your team to do the same also.
Well, what do they say?
Just reach out and find out where they're at. Hey, how you doing? Simple. Like, I don't make it a big... don't make it one of these, oh, I saw the picture of your daughter and we should get together. How's Plexus? That's creepy, kind of, because you know that they don't care about your daughter. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Just ask them whatever you want to ask them. Hey, how are things going with Plexus? I saw you turn your order off. Everything okay? Did you like the products? I mean, what's going on? So if they're happy with the products, once you talk to them, if they're happy with the products, and let's say they're not interested in going silver, they're not interested in getting their products covered, it's okay. It's okay. Just encourage them. I'm trying to read my writing here, but yeah, if they're not interested in that, that's okay. Just keep them happy. Keep reaching out to them. Keep following up with them, and help them to meet their goals. Help them to meet their goals, whatever. Just keep checking in with them. Don't let there be long periods of time where between when you sign them up and between the time they quit. If you don't talk to them in between that time, that's your missed opportunity. So be reaching out to them.
Can I add a quick tip?
Yes.
Something that I learned, I'm learning, I should say, when people are like, I think it's not working very good for me. I think I'm just ready to be done. You get those messages kind of short and to the point. I will call them. I'll just look up their phone number in the back office, or if they send me a text and say that, call them and say, hey, it's Megan. I saw your text and I just wanted to follow up with you about, maybe we need to tweak some stuff or try. Mm-hmm. Though you can salvage those people, there has been so many people I've lost because I have not done that with. But when you talk to them on the phone, you get a clearer picture on what's really going on. And I've had people thank me so much for, helping them. Sometimes they might need a couple more gut health things that they have to get at a health food store. Like there's been some people have been super sick. It's not that Plexus isn't working. It's just that their body is so sick. They might have to do a liver detox first, or they may have to do some L-glutamine and really revamp their diet. So It really goes back to that relationship thing. So don't be afraid to get on the phone. I'm not a phone person, but it's a scary thing. It's one of those scary things that I am challenging myself to do because I know it's the right thing to do and it will help people.
Also, another thing, if you have somebody who says, oh, I'm just done, ask questions. Mm-hmm. Learn to ask questions. And that comes with asking questions. You'll learn how to ask good questions by asking questions. And when I first started, if someone said, well, this isn't really working for me, I've been, in the porta potty half the day and this doesn't work, I would be scared to death. And I'd be like, okay, thanks. Bye. And then I'd just get rid of it. I'm like, I don't want to talk to that person, and, but I've learned over time, if something like that happens, a lot of times you just need to ask questions. Mm-hmm. Just have a conversation with the person, ask questions. A lot of times they're not taking their products correctly. They're not consistent, or, someone maybe just got their triplex and they started taking like 6 BioCleanse a day. day one. That's happened too. So, you know, you have to start asking yourself, you know, okay, did I send them some starter directions? Do I know where to find starter directions? So you have to just learn to ask questions. And a lot of times they're doing something incorrectly. Mm-hmm. So you can help walk them through that process.
Mm-hmm. A lot of times I'll just say, hey, remind me what you're taking, how much, and what time of day you're taking it. We might need to tweak some things.
Right. And people will lie to you too, just to warn you. I'm just going to say this and then I'll move on, but they'll straight lie to you. And I love asking these questions now because I know the questions to ask. So I'll know if they've ordered 2 months worth of products, right? And then I'll be talking to them and then they'll say, well, these products just don't work. Okay, well, you know, you ordered your products, I see. Yeah, 2 months worth. Okay, I see. Have you been consistent? Yes. I take my stuff every day. Okay. And then I ask this. Maybe I might ask a couple filler questions and then I'll ask, how much product do you have left? Well, I feel like a bag and a half of Slim and like 2 of these bottles of the Pro Cleanse. I'm like, yeah, you don't even know the name of it. Okay, so obviously I can do the math. You've ordered 60 days worth. You're on day 55, and you have 45 days of product left. So so just learn to ask questions, you know, and you know, so.
It's okay to restart people.
It's like a game after a while. He's dealing with people. It's pretty fun, really.
But sometimes, like, don't feel bad to say, hey, you know what, let's just start over from scratch. Sometimes I'll just tell people like that, hey, just go off of it for a day and let's start fresh on Thursday and we'll just like restart you. So don't be afraid to do that with people.
We have some doozy stories that I'm telling you that.
You'll get your own, guys. Don't worry. My.
And if you don't have crazy people on your team, I'll give you a couple. I've got some, I think, still.
None of you guys.
They've all quit by now because they had too much product left over. Anyway, so let's get back to work here. This is why I need a schedule. This is why I need the checklist, because I go on these trails and then I don't even know where I'm at. Okay, so back to the new ambassadors that were signed up over the last 3 months. So we covered what to do with a person if they're happy with the products but not interested in the business. If you're asking, as you reach out to them, if this is somebody that is happy with their products and they're interested in the business, what do? You know, well, you need to try to help them get them to silver. The faster you can help people get to silver, the longer they are going to stay with you. It's just the way it works. So be trying to help get them to silver. If you don't know how to do that or what that even means, reach out to your sponsor and say, hey, I got someone that wants to go silver. What do I do? And they'll help you. If not, reach out to their sponsor. If not, reach out to the next sponsor and or message me, and we can work out how to get to it. I'm just going to point you to the Rank Up roadmap, like I mentioned earlier, because it's simple. And so I'm meeting with a guy tomorrow, and that's what I'm going to go over with him. A new ambassador who's ready with the business. We're going to go over the Rank Up roadmap. And then once he gets a few things checked off, we'll see where he's at, how things are going, and make any adjustments. But that's where I'll end up pointing him. So what if it's someone, let's see. What if it's someone that's turned off already? They've signed up in the last 3 months during the Leaders Retreat contest, and they've already turned off. Still reach out to them. Don't be afraid. They've probably hit a financial skid in August and had to turn off. It's an expensive month.
Don't write them off or assume.
Don't write them off. Reach back out to them. They got the beginning of school out of the way, a lot of the big costs out of the way for school. September's here. They're kind of on a routine again. They might be able to get back on the products. Just reach out to them and don't be afraid if they've turned off or not. One other thing, real quick. Customers. We've signed up a lot of customers in the last 3 months, which is great. It's great for PV, which means it's great for your paycheck, actually. So customers pay well. The way our compensation plan works, customers pay really well. So what do we do with them? How can we be good stewards of the customers that joined the team over the last 3 months? Reach out to them. Send them a message, give them a call. Hey, how are things going with Plexus? You know, where are you at with everything? Have you got any questions? How can I help you be successful? Is there anything I can do to help you today? Just something simple, something simple. Now, if they are customers that you've signed up recently over the last 3 months, they love the products, consider upgrading them to ambassador this month. Consider upgrading them. It's like a new ambassador. It might help you get to silver. It might help someone on your team get to silver. It might help you get to gold, senior gold, wherever you may find yourself right now. But one thing you'll need to do is you'll need to go through your back office and you'll need to find out on those people when their customer order ships out. Mm-hmm. And if you're going to upgrade them, you're going to have to upgrade them before their customer order ships out, because they're not going to order 2 orders in the same month. So you're going to have to get on it here at the beginning of the month and identify who those people are. Reach out to all of them and then identify which ones you can upgrade this month. If you've missed the cutoff already on upgrading them, write down a note for next month. If they're happy and loving the products, upgrade them next month, you know. Mm-hmm. Let's see. That's if they're happy. And the same other things. If they're customers and they quit ordering already, just reach out to them. Ask questions. You know, ask them questions. How are things going? Would you be interested in restarting the products?
Yeah, don't be afraid to ask.
Yeah, don't be afraid to ask them. Megan quit taking the products at the beginning.
Yeah.
And you know, had to realize, okay, maybe it's not a product problem. And now you see where she's at. So don't be afraid to ask the questions. If you're reaching out to someone who's a customer and trying to figure out, you know, how they're doing, how you can help them, and see if they might be a good upgrade option or not, and they answer your question like this: yeah, I kind of sort of like Plexus sometimes. It's pretty good. I'm just kind of feeling out the waters. Don't upgrade them. Just keep them as a customer. Help them though. See if you can help them to meet their goals, and maybe you could upgrade them later. But that person's not ready yet to be an ambassador. It's going to be too expensive for them really to sign up. They're going to waste their money on the $34.95, and they're going to be a frustration to you when they turn their order off as an ambassador. So keep those people as a customer. Save yourself the frustration, save them the frustration, and see what you can do to help them be successful, or to get out of their, you know, kind of a wishy-washy attitude.
Commitment level.
And just encourage them. Do what you can to help meet their goals. So there's a lot of potential in September and October because of the way the Leaders Retreat was structured. So take advantage of it. And it just starts out by reaching out to all the new ambassadors and customers that you have signed up over the last 3 months. And for the people on your team who have signed people up, share this information with the people, with your level ones, and make sure this info gets passed down through the levels on your team. So it's just a matter of taking care of people, really.
Yep. And I would just also recommend and encourage you guys, make some goals for your September shift and share that on social media. Use the hashtag September shift. I think it'd be cool to just blast social media platforms with things that we're doing to lift our leadership lids, to be better people, to be more organized, to be, you know, just really focusing on certain things where we need to grow, right? And so share that on social media. Feel free to drop them in the chat thread if you have some areas where you need to shift. Let us be accountability. Share them in the chat thread really quick before we go. Also wanted to just say really quick, if you have not set goals, let this be a reminder at the top of every month. Set goals. Maybe at the end of the month, before the month closes out, reflect back on what went well in the month previous, and then set new goals for the beginning of the month. I've been doing this since pretty much the beginning of my Plexus journey. And, you know, what did I accomplish last month? I wrote everything down that we accomplished. What are my goals this month? I wrote those things down. Action steps to achieve my goals. I wrote those things down. And so that's a mark of someone that's successful, is writing down where you are and then where you want to be, right? So I just wanted to encourage you all with that. But really quick before we go, let me check the chat thread really quick. Does anyone have any questions? Feel free to unmute you have us as a captive audience, so feel free to unmute if you have a question. I'm just going to breeze through these really quick. We do have a little, if you guys are local, we're just going to meet up at the Jackson Avenue Coffee Shop in Charleston, Illinois tomorrow evening from 6 to 8. So just come do IPA, come help, if you need help setting your goals, whatever the things are, just come and hang, get some coffee. We're going to be there just to hang out and make ourselves available for you guys.
I had a question. This is Molly.
Hey, Molly.
The event, so back to school, that's on Thursday, but then it's going to stay the same event page for adding people for the 7-day challenge on Monday.
Uh-huh.
Will our people that have only agreed to do the 1 half hour on Thursday, will they be inundated with post notifications from that same group the next coming week when it turns into the 7-day event?
Yeah. Is that a bad thing? I'm always like, oh, that's a good thing because they're already in the group. So I think the goal with that is after the after the Thursday night event, we're going to have an invite saying, hey, we're hosting another event in this group starting Monday. It's going to be 7 days worth of information. We would invite you to that. Go ahead and get, some 7 sticks of Slim from the person that invited you here, or, if you want to try the Joyome, just pick something to try. And then they, can be privy to that information. If they don't, I guess if you're concerned if they're going to see things they don't want to see, they can just exit the group, or you can remove them if you want. But my thought is there already be kind of an audience in there, and hopefully a lot of them will decide to do the 7-day challenge with us. So that'd be fun. Does that help answer your question?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yep. Very good. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Megan, on the September shift, you said to put the goals on social media. Does that mean our own Facebook page?
Yeah, I think that you can share it with, you can go to my Facebook. I shared my September shift things that I want to do. So I want to start a gratitude journal. I started that with the kids this morning. Just a couple things to kind of move the needle in my life. I feel like if I'm sharing things and kind of being vulnerable, I'm not sharing the deepest secrets and goals of my heart that are only for me to see, but for things that I feel like would benefit other people and add value to them, I think it's good to share those things, or share a quote from the book you're reading, and then hashtag it with September shift, just because people start following, what you're saying. And I think consistently adding value to others makes deposits and helps us grow our influence over social media. And so people start to identify or feel like, oh, wow, that's a person that's really sharing valuable things with me. And that spills over too, also when we're sharing, health supplements that change people's lives too. So yeah, does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, good. A customer who gets wary about putting their social security number in. Well, if they don't want to use their social security number, then they should just be a customer. Some of the older folks, I feel like, are more concerned about social security number or putting their credit card information online. You have anything to say about that?
Which one is it?
There's someone that's concerned about their social security number if they upgrade. If they're wanting a business, then that's why. If you explain why, like Brandy or Shannon
I just explained just kind of like Shannon explained in the chat thread, is that the reason for this is because when you are an ambassador, you have the potential to earn an income. This is for tax purposes. In case you do earn an income, then they'll know where to find you so they can get their tax money. That's the whole purpose behind it. There's no other reason for it other than that.
But they're not going to get a 1099 if they're just ordering their own products.
If you work for any company, you're going to give them your social security number. It's because of tax reasons. This is really no different. If you're joining to be an ambassador, the assumption is that you're doing it to earn a commission or to earn some sort of an income. That's the reason behind it.
Mm-hmm. I have someone who has been giving me crickets and won't answer phone calls. How long would you recommend waiting before reaching out again? I've tried tagging them in testimonies.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were going to answer that
Oh,
one.
I thought you were. I was waiting for you to say something. I think it depends on your relationship with the person.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's, I think it always depends on if it's a cold call, maybe you might give it a little bit more time. If it's a friend who you've been talking with, I'd reach out to them every day, just to be an irritant. If it was a good friend of mine,
Yeah.
or
If it's
something,
someone you
just
can
to
like.
have fun with it. But, I think it depends on the person. I don't think there's one right answer for that. It just depends on your relationship. It also depends on what your last conversation was.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes what I'll do, if somebody were to say, hey, I'll order next Thursday, and then I message them Wednesday, the day before, and hey, just letting you know, you said you were going to order tomorrow, making sure everything's still up to date on that. Sometimes I'll just remind them of what they've already agreed to me on my last conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And some people will ignore you. Some people are just trying to be nice and get rid of you. And most people, though, the majority of people are just really, really busy.
Mm-hmm.
And they haven't prioritized this like we have at this point. So, be patient. Be faithful, though. Keep reaching out, especially if they've expressed interest. As far as how often, I think that that's just I don't have like a certain X number of days I wait, or I program into my phone and I get a message to say, hey, message Bob. I just kind of go with how I feel with the relationship and our last conversation. And if I feel like they're really not interested, I just back off. I
Mm-hmm.
might wait a month or two.
Or develop the relationship more. Just connect with them. Hey, how things going, talk about other things.
But if it's fresh and we were just talking about it, I'll remind them every few days even. Just depend, I'm just being faithful.
Mm-hmm. I'll just usually follow up with something like, hey, I know we chatted last week about Plexus and you had some questions. Mm-hmm. Just wanted to see what you thought of the video I sent. Or sometimes if I feel like they're ready, I'll just say, hey, I'm helping people get orders in today. Mm-hmm. Were you still ready to do that? Or are you ready to do this? Because I'd be happy to help you tonight. Like, don't be afraid to ask for the sale. Also, Carrie kept following up with me, and I'm thankful she did. I was just busy nursing a baby 24/7, but I was highly interested in Plexus. I don't know that I communicated that to her, but she kept just checking back in to see what other information that I needed. And I ended up signing up with her. I signed up with her over a lot of other people that I contacted about Plexus because she kept following up with me. There was one girl that contacted me like 3 or 4 months later and was like, hey, I'll pop that sample in the mail for you. I was like, well, I got started already and I'm like gold by now. I mean, I didn't tell them that, but you know what I mean? Like, there's some people you have to capitalize on. Otherwise, someone else will sign them up.
Needless to say, that relationship has suffered slightly now that Megan's a diamond and she missed out. But anyway, another good thing I learned, there's a great book called Millionaire by Halftime. Have you read this? If not, you need to read this book. It's like the Bible of network marketing. It's just such wonderful things from a guy who has been successful. Even his daughter has been successful in network marketing. But one of the things, if I remember correctly, I don't have the book in front of me, but one of the things is when you're talking to someone and they say something like, yes, I'm really interested, let's talk next week. Rather than saying, okay, then say, okay, how about next, is it okay if I reach out to you next Wednesday at 3:00? Mm-hmm. And then you write that down, and then you're scheduling the next call. You're not having to worry about when to follow up. You've already got it. You've already got that written down with their permission. Because most people, even if they're not interested, will say, yeah, that sounds great. So you're not really badgering them. You've already both have come to an agreement on the next conversation. So don't be afraid to set up the next call or to set up the follow-up with them. That's always a good option as well.
Mm-hmm. I didn't put it on the question, but it's actually an ambassador I was curious about. And it's my cousin, which is kind of interesting. I haven't been super close to her, but I tried texting her because I looked up her number and tried calling. But anyway, she signed up beginning of July, and I've heard nothing for over a month. And so it's obvious that she doesn't have her products, or she's not taking them, things like that. But totally not answering anything for a month. So that's why I was curious. I'm like, I don't want to, bug her too much.
But the funny thing is, she might be like, oh, hey, I've been meaning to get back with you. Right. And then on our end, we're thinking, oh, man, we're bugging someone.
Right.
I have the same thing with people.
There's never – so we've done this now for, 3 years almost, or something, I don't know,
almost
something
4.
like that. And so I've never regretted following up with someone or following up too much with somebody. I never, in that whole time, not one event, not one follow-up comes to mind that I said, man, I wish I wouldn't have followed up with that person. It's actually the opposite. I should have followed up with that person more.
Yeah.
I should have sent the extra message. If so, they would still be here and they wouldn't be with another company. Or I should have followed up with that person because they signed up with another Plexus ambassador, or whatever the case is. So I have no regrets for any follow-ups I've ever done.
Mm-hmm. Sherry Hoffer wants to be super silver. Yay! It's been a month and having a difficult time. I've been doing everything, talking, IPA, sharing, learning, etc. Timing is everything. I did not even get silver my first month. I was at the end. I joined in February, and it was in the very end of April that I went silver. So, some people join and they go silver the same day. We've had people do that. Other people like me kind of have to learn and dabble a little bit. And I'm not sure.
Hey, Sherry, who is your direct sponsor? If you can just type that down there. We should know probably, but we have 3,500 people, I think, on the team page now. So, and just if you could write that down, maybe we could work something out or get together and see if we can help.
Yeah.
Kind of just see what's going on.
If you feel like you're doing all the
Stephanie,
things.
that's right. Gosh.
Stephanie
I just talked to Stephanie today too.
Okay. Yay. Stephanie's awesome. So if you feel like you're doing all the things and you don't feel like you're seeing fruit, I think it goes back to the 90-day rule. And that is, there's Sherry, but I don't see her face. Hey, the 90-day rule means that what we do today affects what happens in 3 months. So it's kind of like a farmer. They plant their seeds, but they don't see a harvest for several months. Same thing with, we start a lot of conversations, but some of those conversations don't actually end up being fruitful, so to speak. It took me 1.5 years, almost 2 years, to decide to try Plexus, to even consider it for myself. Mm-hmm. So I was a big no for a long time. So I just encourage you to know that it's timing. Timing's everything. Just keep doing what you're doing, because that's what we are encouraged to do. Just don't quit and keep learning. Ask your sponsor to help coach you, because maybe there's some things that she sees that you could tweak a little bit. And always, always, always work on personal growth. That's our number one thing is, if you haven't read How to Win Friends and Influence People, number one personal development book. That's a great one.
2 things real quick. I was going to share, Sherry, that just come to mind is one is with Stephanie, just get a copy of, a sample message that you send out and let her look at it and critique it. Did you already say that?
I just said coachable.
Sorry. Anyway, but do that. Have her take a look at that. And it helps to have an extra perspective or someone else to kind of take a look at what you're sharing. And maybe sometimes it could be tweaked a little bit to be just to improve, I think, sometimes. Another thing, too, that I did early on is I had to go back through my Facebook page and kind of look at my Facebook wall, because we're on a social media fishbowl. we're sending all these social media messages out. Well, what do you think the first thing they're going to do is? They're going to go check out your Facebook wall, especially if they don't know you or if they don't know you well. They're going to go learn what they can learn about you. So that's just another thing that comes to mind, is to kind of go through your Facebook wall and just take a look at it and say, you know, what would I think if I looked at this? Would I join me? Would I, you know, I'm not saying you do this, but if I had like a picture of a McDonald's bag 3 times a day on my Facebook wall, and then hey, health and wellness, people, you know, I'm not saying you do that. I'm just saying that's just me being me, but you might just go back and take a look at that and just say, okay, is there something here that maybe, you know, we can look at, maybe we can tweak a little bit.
Okay, that sounds wonderful, guys. Thank you.
You bet.
All right, we better wrap it up. It's 9:02, and it's late for the Eastern Standard Time
We're
people.
just getting fired up.
Oh man, we're gonna have fun
Yeah.
at Leaders Retreat.
It's
So
gonna be a
come
blast.
hang out with us. We
And
can stay up late.
And
The
I am
kids
going to
won't
be
with
a
us.
guest at the Leaders Retreat. So I have like no responsibility whatsoever. She'll be
Probably
working.
so.
I'll be
Drinking coffee.
I will be on the deck somewhere. I don't know. So we'll have a good time. We'll have a lot of fun.
Okay, that's it, guys. Thanks for popping on. Have a great September.
Yep. See you guys.
Bye.